Welcome to another edition of Neighborhood Spotlights.
We are here in your stomping ground, my boy. We're here in Haddonfield.
Yes.
So, listen, I'm excited about this place. We're at the corner of Mechanic Street and Kings Highway at a place called Kings Road Brewing.
Yep.
I've heard awesome things about it. I've never tried it, but I'm looking forward to drinking some beers. Have you been here before?
I've been here many a times.
Really?
It is the cornerstone of the Haddonfield community.
Right.
They pioneered alcohol in this town.
Shut up.
First time ever, so they are like a godsend to the community.
So
to
you-
all of the parents that live with multiple children in suburbia hell.
Go drink at Kings Road.
It is the most amazing place on earth.
So when you say pioneer, they legit didn't have alcohol
No
before
alcohol.
this place was here?
Nothing.
Awesome. Listen, before the fire trucks come, we're gonna go inside, check this out. I'm excited about drinking some beers. Let's get inside.
What's up, guys? We're here inside Kings Road Brewery in downtown Haddonfield on Kings Highway. One of the co-founders of the company here, Chris. How are you, Chris?
I'm very well, thank you.
We thank you for inviting us into your lovely home.
This place is absolutely gorgeous. By the way, this is my first time in here. I have to tell you, dynamite. You guys, the decor in here is just amazing, beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
So you got to tell us. We got to know the story, how you got started, about the two of you, and what. I mean, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. This is a huge thing for Haddonfield because it's a dry town.
Correct.
And were you guys the first to bring alcohol in?
Yes.
It's amazing.
That's amazing. Talk about pioneers, like legit pioneers, right?
Yeah.
This is great.
So the story is it all happened. I was doing a beer class where we had in Haddonfield where people would come monthly and taste different beers. And from that, we formed this group of friends who came up with the idea of let's do this for real. Let's try and make this happen for Haddonfield.
Wow.
So
That's cool. That's awesome.
So that's
amazing.
That's how it worked out, and we applied to the zoning board. That was the rule, and they luckily approved us.
First time out, they approved you.
Yes.
Was there a lot of red tape involved? I mean, did you have to get X amount of signatures? I mean, what's involved in getting? Because this is a huge feat. This isn't just let me open up a bar.
Yeah.
You really, you broke ground here.
Yeah. So we had to make a presentation, and the presentation was open to the public, and we had, we organized for some friends that were on our side to come out, but it was a large meeting with a lot of people that came out. And we were surprised at the amount of people. We thought some of them would be negative against us, but it turned out that one person that came out that we didn't know was another business owner in town. And she was an older woman, so we were kind of afraid of what she was going to say.
Little did you know she was a drunk and she came. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
No, but she owned the J. West dress shop, which is now closed. She retired just recently. But she came up and stood up and was like, "This is the best idea I've heard for this town in 20 years."
Wow, cool.
What an amazing.
And so we was taken to the vote, and the vote we passed 6-1. One gentleman was a naysayer, but we passed, and then we.
And is he allowed in here?
And let me guess, does he frequent the bar? Let's roll with. Nah, probably not.
No, he's not one of us.
Yeah.
So then we had to apply to the state of New Jersey, ABC, and that process, they didn't care. Once we got the approval from the borough, they, that was a longer process, much longer, as the state moves very slow.
Sure.
Yeah.
But 8 months later, we were open. That was in February, the meeting. December 22nd of 2017, we were open in the building across the street right there.
Okay.
A much smaller space. And then.
And when did you graduate to this location?
2019, November 20th was the date, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving that year. We opened.
What a great day to open.
That's
The
perfect.
biggest drinking day of the year.
Was
it a busy day?
It was a busy day.
I'm sure it was.
And actually, we ran out of beer because we brought kegs from there over because we weren't brewing yet here.
Sure.
And within 2 weeks, we were out of that beer, and we had to close down.
So let's talk about that. You actually do brew here, correct? So everything you serve, do you brew here?
Every drop of beer cider, or not cider, scratch that, seltzer.
Seltzer.
We're not allowed to brew cider.
Okay.
So edit that out. Every drop of beer and seltzer that is made, we have to make here and serve here only.
Okay.
So everything you see is behind us, all the brewing equipment, that makes every drop of beverage that we serve here.
So are we able to, when you say serve here, so I couldn't pick up a growler and take it home, purchase it here and take it home? Is that okay?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it is, okay. But you can only serve out of this. It has to be sold out of this location.
Correct.
And do you have growlers, or to your point, what kind of takeout options do you have?
Oh, yeah, sure. We have plenty of growlers. You can come in, ask for a growler. You can bring one of your own to get filled.
Sure.
We have canned beer. We do crowlers, which are quart cans of anything on draft. And we have 4 packs of 16-ounce cans that we sell of just our core beers.
So my goal for you, since you're not, Christina is not a big drinker, she's definitely not a beer drinker. My goal for you, we're going to sit down later in this episode, sit down at the bar, I'm going to find a beer that you love. You mark my word. I've heard amazing things about this place. We're going to find a beer that you love. It might be a seltzer. Might be a seltzer. We're going to, one way or another, you drink it today, girl.
So out of you and Bob, who's the beer geek?
Well, I worked in the restaurant business my whole career. So there's more than just me and Bob. There were 5 original partners. There's 3 active managing members now that run the business. Bob is the director of the whole thing. I'm director of sales, and we have Pete Gagliardi is our other active partner, who is our financial guy.
Got to throw an Italian into the mix. You need to throw an Italian into the mix, right? That's the way it goes. We're everywhere, people. We're everywhere.
The three of us we tend to the business, and so we do different things. So my background was restaurants and bars, and I worked at some famous bars in Philadelphia that were known for their beer. So I had some extensive knowledge on beer and all that. I wasn't a brewer. My partner, who's the financial guy, Pete, was a home brewer, so that was his interest. And Bob is just more of the organized guy, and and likes beer, and was like, yeah, let's do this. And he
works together.
He's the guy who talks to the town and organizes events and does all that kind of stuff.
PR,
PR.
Yep, sure.
Yep. So
And to play some context, I'm going to put the spotlight on you, because you're like, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? You're a Jersey girl, right?
Yeah.
So people that have never been to Haddonfield, tell them what it's like. Give us the vibe.
Of Haddonfield?
Haddonfield.
It's like very old school, like downtown feel. Lots of shops and stores, very homey, family oriented. You got restaurants, clothing stores, bars. Well, not bars. I mean, you have this.
Well, let's rewind back. 'Cause if you remember, when we first were looking, so obviously we have our offices, and all of our offices are in these walkable towns, right? And when we first met up, and it was actually the first time that I met you at our office in Haddon Township, that's exactly what we were talking about. So you hadn't seen our Newtown office, but when I told you, I said, listen, we got to bring you to the Newtown office and see if you get the same vibe, because that's very important to us, right? The vibe, the flow, just the community, and the sense of community. And when you came to the Newtown office, you're like, wow, this is identical. The sense of just, the businesses get together, they lift each other up, they support each other.
Yes.
And that to me is just, it's something that's amazing. And it's really a true testament to what this town is about. I mean, it's really amazing.
And you, Missy, I want you real quick to talk about our new partnership with Kings Road, with the event coming up. Just shine a little light on that, about the events that they're going to host. They host here, and the event we're going to host here.
So I reached out to Bob, I guess a couple months ago, and we're hosting a real estate influencers event, which is going to be a panel discussion of top realtors in South Jersey. So Bob was kind enough to get together with me. We came up with a date, and we're going to use their space and promote their business while we promote, doing a real estate panel discussion.
And we promote drinking some beers, and when this episode airs, the panel discussion will have been complete, so we'll be able to tell you how that went. I think it's going to be amazing, and if I had to guess, you'll probably be planning another one here for the next
definitely.
quarter.
And before we go from this part, I just want Bob to speak. All year round, Kings Road does all kinds of events, like really cool stuff for the community. Why don't you just shed light on a few?
Well, we just had an event for Winterfest with the town. The town puts on a Winterfest event that is, they call the Super Bowl, and all the restaurants in the area donated, or not donated, but created a soup, and we had it in our back.
S-O-U-P or bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl, exactly. And we had it in our back tent, and and people paid to, and it was a fundraiser. People paid to try all the soups, and vote on who was the best one.
What charity? What did you raise money for? Do you remember what the cause was or no?
Bob would know that.
Okay, that's fine.
And
the fact that you're giving back is amazing to me.
My favorite event. I don't know if this is annual.
Is that the S-O-U-P or bowl?
No, it's the hot dog eating competition.
Yes, we've had that.
Who does that?
So we had it here last year. It was our first annual.
Okay.
Next year, we'll do it again. And that was July 4th. We have a parade down the street.
Yes.
And at the end of the parade, we asked everybody to gather out front here. And we had a hot dog eating contest with Goldbergers down the street. They were the hot dog sponsor last year.
They'll be on a future episode.
And so it was.
Do you know how many hot dogs the winner ate? I could only imagine, right?
It wasn't as many as you would think because of the
larger wieners. They were
They were larger, the big dogs,
They're the Italian style hot dogs, right?
and the hoagie rolls.
And the hoagie roll. So how many hot dogs could you eat, lady?
Oh God, probably not.
And we're talking the standard hot dog, not the Italian, the standard hot dog. This can go a totally different direction. I did not mean that. We're going to stop here.
Shut up.
We're not going to cut this, but just know that we were not going that direction with this. How many hot dogs did you eat, sir? I'm good for half a dozen dogs.
This is the greatest.
All kidding aside, legit hot dogs.
Yeah.
No, legit answer. No, seriously. I can do about 6 dogs.
My
No problem.
pre-diet days?
Yeah.
Like a standard size?
Standard
I think I
dog with
go
the
double
bun.
digits.
How many?
I think I go double digits.
Really?
I'm a
You
pre-diet.
can only eat 6?
I
Come on, I can eat more than that.
Well, here's why. I was in a hot dog eating contest at one point. And first of all, they were
What
just
haven't you
disgusting.
done?
They were like these disgusting, just like boiled, whatever.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
they weren't even like all beef franks. They were like the mix and whatever.
Kosher wieners?
Yeah, right. And I think I ate 5, but we had a certain time limit that we had to eat them in. And I got to be honest with you, I was sick for 2 days. I ate those. And listen, if I'm eating a nice grilled dog, a little Hebrew national action or whatever,
You give me like cannolis, I
Beer.
eat the whole
An
box.
ice cold beer. So there's only one thing left to do.
drink some beer.
We want to thank you, sir, for inviting
thank
us
you.
into your spot.
Yeah, you're
We're
welcome.
excited to be doing
Yeah,
this.
very nice
we're
meeting
excited to host you
Thank
guys.
you for everything. Yeah.
And I think it's time to try some beer.
Yeah, so you got a bartender you can direct us to because we need some
Oh,
beers?
yeah. Ryan's right over there.
Let's go see Brian. Come on, guys. So I'm getting screamed at behind the scenes because apparently I messed your name up. It is not Brian. It is Ryan. Ryan with an R. Ryan, yes. Okay, don't yell at me again, Chad. And we're here doing what we like to do best at Oak Neighborhood Spotlights with an S. We're drinking some beer. So, first of all, we got my friend Christina here, who is not a drinker. She doesn't drink beer. She doesn't drink anything. I told her that you're going to come up with something that she's going to enjoy. So, at the end, we're going to have you try something. We're not going to try everything. Chad and I are going to do most of the drinking here. You guys just smile and look pretty, and that's what sells the show. And we are going to be here tasting some beer. So, Brian.
Right.
What is this? Tell me about this right
This
here.
is our Kings Gold. It's our American lager, our house lager. It's been pretty much on tap since we opened the doors 6 years ago. Our #1 selling beer in the tasting room and in restaurants, bars.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You try it first, brother?
Ready?
What'd you think?
By the
I
way-
don't skeeve. I'll taste it after
No,
you.
I would say I'm not a connoisseur, so the fancy Pilsner, Schmilsner, Wilsner.
As if I am.
I'm just
but
saying,
anyway, go ahead.
This is a good traditional beer.
Just a nice. What would you compare this to? I mean, it's again hard to compare, but if you a more
Can I guess?
mainstream, nationally
Can I guess?
produced beer,
Yeah, guess.
what would
Yes. Yeah.
Let me taste it first, and we'll do a little
let me
guessing
guess.
contest.
Yeah.
Chug, chug, chug. That's not chug.
I taste a lagery in it, right? So like a.
And this is a pilsner.
That's a lager.
Oh, it's like
It is a lager.
pilsner.
So it's a
It's like,
lighter-
I'm like, wait,
Like
this
a lighter
is very
Yingling
nice.
sort of kind of thing. It's light. It's
I'm
really
not feeling anything Yingling, but what are your thoughts?
It's very traditional American lager.
lager, okay.
So like that's the beer.
a
like,
lager's
you
a
get
little more
slammed
amber.
on.
I could crush this all day long.
get
What's the
slammed on.
alcohol content on something like this?
5.2%.
I probably shouldn't crush this all day long. I could crush this all day long. Delicious.
Yeah,
Might as well.
you get slammed on it.
Chug.
That's the slammer.
All right, I gotta be honest with you. I'm a very visual eater and drinker.
Yep.
And when I see dark beer, it scares me away. I don't know what it is. And a buddy of mine's a brewer, and he's like, "Oh, Mark, try this. It's a porter, and it's made with coffee and all these crazy things." I'm like, it gets me.
Good.
Yeah, right. For you, not for me. I don't know. It's just not my thing. So this
maybe she should try.
Tell me what this is.
So this is our black gold. So
Black
kind
gold.
of taking our King's Gold, but using some darker malts to
your face.
kind of gives us some darker notes, a little bit more roasty, but
I like
still
that.
a lot lighter than a porter, lighter
likes
than a
it.
stout.
Okay. She actually likes this. She likes this.
I like dark coffee. I like black coffee and things like that. So I would I never even realized that I would like that.
I actually like this better than the gold.
So while we're
This is very good.
While we're doing
but I would
this-
have to close my eyes because if I see the dark, I swear it weirds me out. Listen, this is how
hold your
crazy.
nose.
You think I'm crazy when I use
No,
Chad,
when I buy,
we don't think
Chad.
Mark's crazy.
Listen,
No.
my toothpaste. I have to get toothpaste that's colored a certain way. I can do a red toothpaste, and I can do a green toothpaste, like the gel. Give me a white toothpaste. I get sick. I actually gag.
You're not helping your case for the not crazy.
Drink the beer. Drink the beer. Tell me what you think.
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like the flavor.
So
Yeah.
what is your title here? What do you do exactly? I mean, obviously you're bartending. You're amazing
you know,
at that.
One of the bartender servers, and one of the managers here in the tasting room. I work in sales first too, so
Nice.
I'm out on the road, trying to get beer in the next bar, restaurant.
Oh, do you guys get picked up in other bars?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, that's
All
very
around
cool.
Camden County, Burlington County.
Ah, very cool. That's
nice,
awesome.
nice. I know what this is, and this is probably my favorite beer. So I, again, wasn't a big beer person until I went up to, I think I was in Portland, Maine, and I hit a couple breweries over there. And again, a buddy of mine, my buddy John, who's a brewer, and he's won some like national awards. He's like, listen, go to this particular place, and he said they're known for their IPAs. He said, get the hazy IPA. I'm like, what's a hazy IPA? He said it's called a hazy IPA. I said, I'm not going to call it a hazy IPA. It sounds weird. He said they call it a New England IPA. He said, call it what you want, but make sure you get it. I got it, and I really enjoyed it. Something about it, and again, the color. And this is the hazy, correct?
That's the hazy,
We talked
yeah.
about this off camera.
That's our ample vengeance.
So when you look at this, right, the color, it's kind of like murky and looks nasty. But I got to tell you, she's delicious.
But I'll tell you, IPAs have come on, like
Just
they're
smell
more
that.
popular,
Smell that.
right?
You smell
They're
that.
Popular
Yeah,
lately.
so I think
Smell-
it's the hazy
smell.
IPAs that makes them more approachable.
Uh-huh.
You get less of that bitterness that the
Yes.
traditional IPA
Ah.
does. So this is giving you the
Smell
fruity,
the hops.
Oh,
smell the
yeah.
hops. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
sound like I know
bitter.
what I'm talking about.
But here's the best part.
Yeah.
What's the content?
7.1.
There we go.
Whoa!
Whoa!
What's
What's the
why it's
content
hazy.
on here?
4.9.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
You get hazy.
Christina like the lowest.
Ooh, I like that.
That's nice.
I like
I'm
that.
gonna just keep this part
That's
right
a
over
really-
here.
that's a really
This is
good-
mine.
that's a really
and
good-
Oh, good.
And what's that beautiful pinky looking drink there?
So this
something
is
that I
our-
probably
It
won't
has a
drink, but-
shade of red to
A
it.
hue.
A hibiscus berry hard seltzer. So using a whole bunch of hibiscus tea initially,
Oh.
and
Okay.
then kind of like a mixed berry compote to give it some flavor, a little bit of sweetness. So you get a little bit
Is
of
this
tart,
the
a little bit
girly
of sweet.
drink?
It's an everybody drink.
Well, what's the percentage of alcohol in that?
It is 5%. Or
Oh,
I'm sorry, 5.5%.
That's a thick girly drink.
Yeah.
That's not a little tiny girly drink. She's gotta have a little love on her handles. But let's see.
It's
You want to-
also, it's
I'm not
also,
saying for you. I'm just saying in general. If you're drinking something 5-6%, you gotta have a little meat on your bones.
it's also
Oh.
gluten free.
Told you to be
Oh,
fun.
it's gluten
Just
free.
gluten-free.
It's gluten free.
gluten-free.
We can't stamp it because it's made in the same facility, but everything's
Got it.
clean and sterile.
Yeah, it's got that seltzer
Yeah.
taste.
All right, let's try.
You up?
Let's try. I'm up.
So while you've been,
smell that.
you've been doing this for so long, the knowledge of the beer is what I find the most incredible.
Oh, it's great.
People just can really discern between so many variations of this.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I mean, I guess do you get a lot of those people here?
Oh, for
Do
sure.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you get the novice beer drinker, and you get
Yeah.
people who have been, they're going home to Untapped, which is an app where you can rate the beers, and they're like,
Sure.
oh, this is my 2000th beer I'm checking in.
Oh, that's pretty
Oh.
Great beers all over the.
I didn't even
all
know.
that.
How many beers do you keep on tap regularly?
Range from anywhere from 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
And are you-
We're usually 10 to 12, but we're in there.
For somebody like myself, or pretty much any of us, we're clearly novices. Does it bother you when people come in and say, well, can I taste a little bit of this, or can you tell me the difference between this and that? Are you okay with that?
I like it. I like
Do
it
you?
when someone comes in and they ask you questions, and nothing's better than someone coming like, oh, I don't like coming into craft beer places. Then you give them a beer like, oh, this is
yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And it kind of just eliminates that stereotype that
Yeah.
it's like, oh, there's going to be beers here not for everybody.
Well, and the other stereotype with craft breweries, right, is that they're ridiculously expensive. You're paying $14 for a pint of beer. What? Give me an idea. What is the price range? I got a guy off camera over here sucking down beers like it's his job, so they can't be too expensive. Right? No offense, buddy. But anyway, we might have to shoot some B-roll of this guy later on. So yeah, give me an idea.
We're usually between $6 and $8 for a pint of beer.
Okay.
So
Dude, I paid like $8.50. Forget it. I was at the game the other day. They charged me $23 for a Miller Lite. But it really, if you're in Philly, you're paying $8 for a Miller Lite beer.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother show. Those beer, that's ridiculous. Coors Light's like $15. Yeah.
Well, listen, I know that I'm taking somebody. You got growlers, crowlers, you got all that stuff I can bring up. I'm loading up. I'm going home with some beer, and me and Maria are drinking some beer tonight. It's going to be a fun night at the Gotta household.
It sounds like we can't leave until she gets converted. So we're going to have to dry every beer. And she's going to have to drink a pint of each. We'll send you home in an Uber. What do you think?
Let's go.
We got Christina on
I
board.
can try.
Chad, I think we got to close this out, man, because we're about to drink some serious beer. And this is a kind of a PG-13 show.
Well, if you guys are in Haddonfield, come visit Ryan Bryan,
a.k.a. Ryan, or Brian.
thanks, Mark Clark.
Mark. That's what they call me at the tanning salon. There you go.
Here at Kings Road in downtown Haddonfield on Kings Highway. Guys, we are all over the place. We absolutely love this show. Another great episode with great people. Please stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube at Neighborhood Spotlights. We will see you again on the next episode. Peace.